It's nearly time. Nearly time. I'm nearly 19. So I want to look back on my life and give you a bit of an insight into things which have happened during my life. So I was born in 2001, February the 16th, 2001. And I was born in Leicester. My dad, amazing person. My mum was abusive, and she wanted me dead. We also had issues with her mum, who died of a cocaine overdose. It never affected me because I hated her. I do remember her partially though. And then we moved to Loughborough. This is where I met Aaron. Oh my god. Aaron's amazing. I love that guy so much. It's also where I met Edward and Jivan, who are like my only friends who I'm still in contact with from school. Um, and then, of course, I met Flynn and Alex through Aaron, and I love those guys as well. They're amazing. And then, so in Loughborough, I still saw my mother, but Dad had to kick her out, and she could have got a bedroom, a house with like two bedrooms, but she chose a bungalow with only one bedroom. She would only have my sister over. She cared for her daughter, but not me, her son, and that's led me to really disdain her, and especially with the abuse and that. She's the only person who I would want to hit, but I would never do it. She deserves to be locked up. There are some crazy stories with her. Like when we went on holiday once, she actually went into our house and ate all the food, used the electricity, the Wi-Fi, and then Dad changes the locks because the neighbour told us what happened, and then she was complaining that she couldn't get in. Complete idiot, honestly. And then, according to my sister, when she used to visit, there was like a 90-year-old man there, and he put her hand into his mouth to show that he had no teeth. That's just disgusting. Like, do don't do that to my sister. Like seriously. And then of course, when I was about 10, was I 10 or 11? I was either 10 or 11. Emily was born. I still remember when she came home crying in a little car seat. Watching those two grow up is gratifying. Those two have such a strong bond. Me and my sisters, we aren't that sort of pair who always contact each other or hang out. But if we ever need each other for anything at all, whether it's to do with bullies or just a hug, we're there for each other. I don't see my sisters much anymore, and it kills me. It kills me that I don't see my family much anymore. It's yeah. I love my sisters. If anything was to happen to them, I would beat myself up because I'm their brother. Like Julie, my sister, has been there for me through thick and thin. She was the one who really helped me get through my friend James's death. Actually, she's the one who offered me so much comfort. It was unreal, and I miss them. Oh my god, I'm about to tearing up. uh, okay, so moving on from that, we moved again. I left my primary school, went to my first secondary school before I moved. Mablewell Hall was good. I made a few friends there, but most of them are quite hostile now, and I'm not even in contact with any of my classmates anymore. which is actually really sad. Well, I've got one guy who I'm in contact with, but that's it. Samuel, he was a good guy. There are loads of people who I love, like George and Luke, who we used to call Teapot for some reason. Why did we call him Teapot? I don't know why we called him Teapot. Well, he was awesome. Ethan and Connor, who was a bit strange, but he was just a bit weird. And Adam Hearn, oh my god, Adam Hearn. He used to brag about being. I was the tallest, but when I was leaving, I was like, I'm going to be the tallest now. Ha ha. I'm like, really? You're really going to brag about that? But then I moved, of course, from Loughborough to Moberly, where I had to move school. Colonel Frank Seeley, absolute hellhole of a school. Some of the worst bullying I have ever had. But I had an actual group of friends. Bethany, Ethan, James. This is another James. Who else? Matthew. There was some other guy who was in like sixth form. But even then, bullying was still bad. Like from Kane, Mac Lang was the worst. Oh. Once he grabbed my area in front of girls, I'm like, what the fuck? if he had done that to me now, I would have punched him. But since then, I was the most shy person ever. I wouldn't approach anybody. I wouldn't speak to anybody. I still struggle with that now. But he was just a vile person. I know a lot of people from the school who are in my class are now not doing good in life because of their actions. I don't want that for them, but it's their own fault. Then I moved to Long Eaton, where I moved to St Benedict's Catholic Academy. There were good and bad parts of that school. The special unit was decent. I had an actual group of friends. Sophie, who I saw last year after like a few years, we just chatted for like 2 hours straight and we didn't even realise. James, of course, but bless him, he had to pass away. I've got back in contact with a few others like Holly, and it's just, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Am I in contact with anybody out of class? I am. I've got a few people such as Amy, Beth, James, another James who I knew, James Jarvis. He was funny as hell, decent guy though, and Victor. Victor was so nice to me. So if you're watching, Victor, thank you for spending PE with me doing other things when I couldn't take part in certain sports due to my head. Because if I was to take a blow, if I take a blow to the head, I can lose my eyesight. And Victor would come out of his way just to go and do something else with me, whether it's just going into the gym, pardon me, or wheelchair football. He was a good guy. He was honestly a very, very good guy. I moved again to Kirkby, but did I move to Kirkby? I'm trying to think now. Yeah, I moved to Kirkby, and then I was still at St Benedict's. I just got a longer distance to travel because luckily the government awarded me taxi travel, which was good. So I still got to see James often. I met Harmony. We got really close. I started to love her like crazy. But then things started to fall apart between us. She went to Hereford, doing really well. But she didn't turn out to be the nicest person towards the staff. I only found more out when she had left, which people hadn't told me because they saw how close we were. We used to hang out all the time. I used to go to her house. We used to do special sports with each other, go out for like bowling and all sorts. Oh, I used to love it. But then, yeah, then I find out that she committed suicide, which upset me deeply. So this is when me and Chelsea were dating, but I called her when she was doing a live stream. Her face on that live stream I'm still pretty much shattered from that. Then of course I started college. Um, so James was the first one to pass on. Then it was Harmony, and then I lost five other people in the space of a year. So I went through level two media. Past that, then there was a chance I wouldn't get on the top course because I didn't do too well in level two. But my tutor Michael gave me a chance. First year of the course, I got top grades in the class, and I said, "Have I proven you wrong?" And he's like, "Yes, you have. You have done extremely well. You have really come far." And I have. Lots of people have said that I've come really far. But then after the first year, I moved out. Like I moved out in August, and I got the house here. So of course I had the roommate Ben. I'm still here in contact with Ben. I like Ben. Ben wasn't the problem. It was his friends. They were always making racket. One of them was taking weed here, drugs, and that used to anger me. And they would come over at like midnight with speakers on, and on my work nights, which used to anger me so much. But then, of course, he was kicked out around October time, I believe it was. So, of course, this is luckily this is when I had my phone, so I had like unlimited internet. That's how I'm still uploading to you guys because I don't have a physical Wi-Fi a network. I only use 4G. This is how I'm playing PUBG and recording videos for you guys and uploading them to YouTube. Because if not, then there wouldn't be stuff over the weekends. And then yeah, so after he left, it's just adapting to life living alone. I get paranoid still, but I have really adapted to living alone now, but and budgeting, cooking, and it's awesome, but it's also a chore. life is life is a massive chore, but it is also extremely rewarding. But yeah, after he left, of course, Aaron came here for the first. Well, Aaron came here when Ben was still here to see the house, and he liked it. This is when I made him mad because I was being a terrible host. Still my fault, Aaron. So yeah, don't beat yourself up for that. But then I came back crying because a friend had died because I didn't tell him at the time, but I'd made the choice to take off his life support. His parents wouldn't do it, so I was on the back up. So I came back just shattered. I don't think Aaron, like Chelsea, was here as well. I don't think neither of them had ever seen me cry because I'm that strong that I cry when it's only very bad. It's like James, I cried. Harmony, I shed a few tears, but then after that, I didn't really shed any tears at all. I just became more negative and dark, like not in a bad way, but I just wouldn't be motivated or anything like that. But then, of course, January comes 2019. Me and Chelsea split, which destroyed me, I will not lie. Um, and then I lost my job, which has made life so much harder because I had a constant income before, but now I don't. So I have to be very careful with money. But I want to go back through some of the memories. So most of my positive memories do involve Aaron, our time together, the sleepovers. Oh man, all the times we used to hang out near the river and in a like makeshift fort in the forest. And our funny memories like pew pew, I'm Rex, and all of that nonsense. And our gamer rages and sports mix for hours and Smash Bros. And when I used to like Skylanders, when we used to play for hours and, oh, it was just we still have the best time. Like, Aaron is coming down on my birthday, the day before, and we have so many videos planned, and I'm not doing much, but he's going to make it so good. This guy came on my 18th, as some of the older fans would have seen. And if you want to check out that video, there's a few parts to it, and there's also a video where I edited it all together. But he came. I was dating somebody else at the time. Her name was Courtney. She promised me that she would come. I told my family, you'll be finally able to meet her. She doesn't turn up, and I felt like a total fool. I was hurt, very hurt. And then Aaron, he stepped up his game. He wasn't really up for dancing or anything, but when he did, he started taking part with me, and we had a great time. Loads of family came, and it meant so much to me. So any of you watching, thank you. I still really do appreciate all of you. Oh, I have the best family and friends. Honestly, I don't have many friends, but who I have are stunning people. So for this 19th birthday, I've not asked for nothing apart from a little bit of money from my parents for bills. So I'm not asking anything from me. I'm asking just stuff to run the house or for food. I don't know what Aaron has planned. I'm not expecting anything from you, dude, but you always do deliver something. On the Sunday we are seeing family though, so even if it's just for a few hours, so I am looking forward to that. And I want to thank my aunt for, of course, the electric shaver, which I did a video on, and Chloe, actually, because she wants to actually hang out. My friend Chloe. She's actually at the University part of college, but I don't even remember how we met. She just randomly added me on Facebook because she was in a class like of mine at one point, I believe, and then we just started hanging out. Which is cool. And also the guy called Lou Temp, I actually know him. The I was challenged video, that was him playing against me on the bus. Just randomly came up to me. He's like, "Oh, you play Smash Bros. Want to have a round?" I'm like, "Okay." But yeah, I can see this 19th birthday being amazing, and I really have Aaron to thank for that. So you're probably also wondering how I managed to keep my composure through all my pain and everything. So really, the thing is, I owe that a lot to my imagination, and also the occasional part of help which I would receive. I was stubborn and I wouldn't really accept help until now. I have been taking counselling, and that is helping. I was just ashamed to, get into that, if you will. But yeah, I've just gone blank. Okay. So online, I do roleplay. Nothing bad like sexual stuff or anything like that. My plots tend to revolve around romance, like a high school romance, university romance, a fantasy romance between a princess and a peasant boy or something, or something mythical, like a Percy Jackson sort of thing, or something based off Harry Potter, And that has really helped my creativity due to getting good at writing plots and stories. It helped me get an A in English. I didn't revise for my English test like a plank, but I got an A without revising, which was insane. So what I'm saying is that being creative can really help your mental state. I still do roleplay. I have a few plots now which are about a war. Some of the stories can get a tad dark, but my current favourite is one where I'm actually part part demon. So, and it's like my job to disobey my father and save the world, you know. Which is cool because you can just incorporate every element into it. Because I don't just accept one person for these plots. I don't do multiple plots like with more than one character. I'm only focus it on the character Mia and someone else will play. But I do the same story with multiple people because then you get different insights, different pathways. For example, I have a high school romance going on at the moment where my character is an orphan, and there's two people who have made my who've like taken my character into and to live with them in their mansion. But then there's others who are on the poorer side, but you know, we live together in a dorm room, and then you have all different takes about events which are going on, and then you can cross everything over if you want to just say include a certain moment in another story, or with another person. So yeah, roleplay helps me out big time. Also, of course, filming and you guys and everything. But yeah, so that's a little bit of a general insight into my life. It's been quite negative over the past 2 years, but I've had those people there to help me. It's just this world. This world still angers me like crazy, especially when it comes to drugs and sessions. Ugh, makes me cringe so much. But you know, it's life. I can't do nothing about it. It's this teen culture. Yes, everyone has the right to experiment with drink and drugs. Drink I can tolerate. Drugs, no. As I said previously. But yeah, that's about wraps it up. This is actually being filmed on a Sunday, as well. Many of you may have seen the post saying I'm not uploading because of my family being in a car crash. Yes, they were in a car crash. No one's hurt, but I will admit I had a panic attack. If you want more in-depth details, I'll get permission from my family first before doing anything too revealy, but I don't know much myself, so I'll probably get more insight next week anyway. But yeah, thanks to everybody who's been there for me. Thanks to everybody who has supported this channel in its growth. And let's see how far we can grow. Just see where I'm not after millions of subscribers. It will be nice, but I'm not after that. I just want a community which will back me up. And just watch me for me, which many of you do. So thank you. And I will see you all in the next video, guys. And I cannot wait to do some more travel videos next week. Well, I should say this week because you'll be seeing this on Monday. So, peace, guys, and I love you all.